we are learning The Merchant of Venice. Let's go to Act 5. There is only one scene in this act. This is the last part of the play. In this act, the first scene and the last scene of this play, on the stage, Lorenzo and Jessica are present there. Let's go to the text. The moon shines bright in such a night as this, when the sweet wind did gently kiss the trees, and they did make no noise. In such a night, Troilus, methinks, mounted the Trojan walls, and sighed his soul toward the Crescent tents, and where Cressid lay that night. This scene begins with a description of that night where Jessica and Lorenzo spending there in Portia's garden. As we know that Portia and Nerissa went to Venice to save Antonio from the clutches of the wicked man Shyla, and they are ready to travel. There we stopped, and here on the same night they are traveling there. Here Jessica and Lorenzo spending their night in Portia's garden, and they are out sitting there in the garden watching the moonlight, and they are admiring the night and also thinking of the tales, the ancient tales, classic tales of unhappy love which were there in the ancient tales. So they are recollecting one after the other, and in this beginning of this scene, Shakespeare, using the phrase in such a night, such a night, more than many times, he is repeatedly using it, I think 7 times in after a few lines. You can find that more than 7 times he used it to bring the attention of the audience. He is bringing the imagination and making the people to imagine with him. So the first imagination, the playwright takes us to Trojan War, and he, that is Lorenzo, thinks of that night. Tonight is like that night. That was a sad night. So the night they are thinking of it, and he is giving the reference of that night, and he is telling the story. They are just discussing the ancient tales one after the other. One thing Lorenzo says, and other night about other night Jessica says, like that they are referring few stories in these lines. Let's see that the first story he remembers, Lorenzo remembers, and tells and imagine that night how it would be, that here says. And what is that night? He says, the moon shines bright in such a night. In the moonlight, the lovers were separated or died or faced the difficulties in their life. So the first person who he remembers is Troilus. Troilus. Who is Troilus? Troilus is prince of Troy. And what happened to him? Why he is remembered by Lorenzo? Because he says that it is like such a night when the sweet wind did gently kiss the trees. The wind is so breezing and very gentle breeze, and there was a quiet night, and they did make no noise. Quiet, it was so quiet in such a night. What happened to Troilus? And Troilus, methinks that is Lorenzo thinks that mounted the Trojan walls. Trojan is Trojan. So the Trojan walls outside his soul, and he felt very bad. Why he felt very bad? Because that is, Troilus was separated from his beloved Cressida. So Cressy lay that night, and he was longing to have his beloved lover Cressida. What happened to Cressida? Cressida was taken by the Greek people, that Grecian tense, and sighed because she was taken by the Greek people, and she betrayed him, betrayed Troilus then. So he was sighing, he was feeling so sad as he was separated from his beloved Cressida. So that this night is like that. So he is remembering the lovers one by after. And Jessica, in such a night did this be fearfully overtrip the dew. Sorry. In such a night did this be fearfully overtrip the dew, and saw the lion's shadow ere himself, and ran dismayed away. So Jessica is remembering the other classical story, in that night in which this way wanted to meet her lover secretly in the jungle. While she was coming there, she was frightened by the shadow of a lion, and she ran away. And her lover Pyramus saw the lion in the jungle, and he thought his lover this way is killed by the lion. So he killed himself. And later on, this way saw her lover Pyramus die, that means the dead body of him in the jungle. She killed herself. This is the sad and what you can say, that forsaken love of the lovers. So they are remembering such tales in that night. And Lorenzo said about Troilus, who was forsaken and by his lover Cressida. Now Jessica is remembering other one, and again Lorenzo telling about other story. In such a night stood Dido with a willow in her hand upon the wild sea banks, and wafted her love to come again to Carthage. Here it's tell about Queen Dido. She was a queen of Carthage, and there came a soldier, wandering hero, and he had to go back to his place. While he was getting ready to board on the ship, at the seashore, Dido stood and waved the willow branch, a symbol of sadness and symbol of her second love also, we can say. She waved it, and calling him back to stay with her. And they are remembering. So that night was like this. And Lorenzo and Jessica again. In such a night, Medea gathered the enchanted herbs that did renew old age. Medea is again a character, and it is goddess, goddess. And what happened when Jason had to face some difficulties in his life? She collected the magic herbs and did magic and helped him and renew his father age. That means the old father was turned to his youth. After doing all this magic, Jason deserted her. So this again a deserted love or forsaken love. And Lorenzo telling about the other story, which is a true story of them. In such a night did Jessica steal from the wealthy Jew, and with an unthrift love did run from Venice as far as Belmont. So he is making fun of Jessica and telling it this night is like that night on which night Jessica ran away from his father's, robbing all the wealth from his father and running off with a careless spendthrift person and believing him, trusting him, running with him far away from Venice to Belmont. So Jessica got annoyed and she said that in such a night she is mocking at him. So first Lorenzo mocked at Jessica, and now Jessica is mocking at Lorenzo. In such a night did young Lorenzo swear he loved her well, stealing her soul with many vows of faith and never a true one. And she is pointing him. It is like such a night. On that night, Jessica was deceived, or you can say that made to believe by a young man, Lorenzo, swearing all the vows with love and stealing her soul, and none of the promises he gave, he did do it. Not a single promise was true. What he said, all were false. So Lorenzo said, in such a night did pretty Jessica, like a little shoe, slander her love, and he forgave it. So Lorenzo says that it is like such a night, and the sharp tongue, shrew means talking too much, and sharp tongue, using such a word, and hurt the lover, Lorenzo, but in such a night he forgave her for all her sharp words. So Jessica and again says, I would outnight you, did nobody come. So sure, what she says, I would beat you like anything, you are pointing me. And at this game, this story game, they are keep telling the stories, are and the last they have come to their own story. So they were getting irritated, she got irritated, and she says that I will give you good beatings, and here no one is there to save you or to protect you. And when she was telling that, she is hearing someone's noise. But hark, here, listen, I hear the footing of a man, someone is coming. So someone is coming there. So in the beginning of the scene, only Jessica and Lorenzo were there. Now someone is entering to the stage. Enter Stefano, a messenger. Who is coming there? A messenger is coming there. So, who comes so fast in silence of the night? So, Lorenza is questioning. Who is there coming in this night, quiet night, very fast, walking very fast and coming towards us? Who is he? So, Stefano says, a friend. Don't worry, I am a friend. Lorenza, a friend. What friend? Your name? I pray you, friend. You are a friend. That tell me your name. So Stefano is my name, and I bring word. I have brought some word to you. My mistress will before the break of day be here at Belmont. So what is the message he has brought? His mistress. Who is his mistress? Portia is going to come to that place. That means her house before it's getting morning. That means before morning, break of a day. She'll be here in Belmont. That is the news he has brought. She doth stray about by holy crosses. She is there in the monastery where she kneels and prays for happy wedlock hours. So she is praying there for her wedding, happy married life. So she will be here in the morning, early in the morning. So Lorenzo, who comes with her? He is questioning. Who is coming with her? None but a holy hermit and her maid. Her maid is Nerissa, along with her some holy hermit, say, saint, some person, priest will come. I pray you, is my master yet returned? So giving information and wanting to get the information from Lorenza that whether his master is Bassanio, has come or not. So Lorenzo, he is not. No, we have not heard from him. He has not yet come, but not we have heard any message from him. But go we in, I pray thee, Jessica. So informing him that Bassanio has not yet come, and requesting Jessica, telling Jessica that let's also go inside as she is coming. Portia is coming. Let's go and invite her, welcome her in the house. So I pray thee, Jessica, and ceremoniously let us prepare some welcome for the mistress of the house. Let us do some preparation for the formal welcome for Portia inside the house. So let's go inside. So when they were talking, so three of them are there, Stefano, Lorenzo, Jessica. There enter Lancelot. Lancelot Gobbo, that is servant of Bassanio. Lancelot, solo, oh ho, solo. He is with good mood singing as a gesture. And who calls? Lorenzo is telling. Who is there? Who is calling? Solo, did you see Master Lorenzo? So, sir, did you see Master Lorenzo? Knowing is joker there and clown talking in the manner. Lorenzo, leave hollowing, man. Here I am. So stop hollowing all these things. I am here. Lancelot, Solo, where are you? Lorenzo, here I am. Lancelot, tell him there is a post come from my master. So he is bringing the message. His master is Bassanio. With his horn full of good news, my master will be here morning. Here means before morning he'll be here. So Lorenzo telling sweet soul, whom he is addressing? Addressing his wife Jessica. Let's go in, and there expect their coming. Their coming is Nerissa, the hermit, and Portia. And yet no matter. Then he said that okay, there is no matter going in. What is the point? As they are coming and we are here, why should we go in? My friend Stefano, signify, I pray you, within the house, your mistress is at hand, and bring your music forth into the air. So your mistress is coming. So before we enter into the house, let's call the musician to come out and sing outside and welcome our mistress. So exit Stefano. Stefano goes to call the musician. How sweet the moonlight sleeps upon this bank. So again he started describing and telling the things about the night. They were remembering many, many tales. Now he's saying, what a beautiful moon and how it's shining on the bank of the Belmont, that is the water. And there, the Belmont, there, um, near the bank, how it is shining. So here will we sit and let the sounds of music. So let's hear the music from outside only. Let the musician come and play. Creep in our ears. Let the music creep in our ears. Let the music go inside. A soft stillness and the night. So in the night, soft and quiet night, let's listen the music. Become, so he says that the music in the night and quiet silent night become the touches of the sweet harmony. So it will be so harmonious, and let us listen the music outside sitting in the night. Sit, Jessica, look how the floor up. So he is asking Jessica to sit and looking at the sky and going in the mood of good, and he is explaining that, see Jessica, look at the sky, how beautiful it is, and how the floor of heaven, he can see the heaven, and how the floor of heaven is thick, inlaid, full of gold. The heaven is covered with gold and with patterns of bright gold. That is not the smallest orb which thou behold. So every part of the heavenly body, orb means heavenly body, there is not the smallest which you can see that does not in its motion. Every part of the every particles or every body, heavenly bodies. What are the heavenly bodies? Stars, planets, all the heavenly bodies are in move, in motion, and they are making music. It is believed, it's true. People believe that every heavenly body produces its own sound. It pro- sorry, produces a music. So let's listen the music. But in its motion like an angel sings. It's believed that every heavenly body, even a star, when it twinkles, it produces music. And every planet in its motion, it produces music. And that music make a continuous singing like angels singing there, still querying to the young-eyed cherubims. Cherubims are angels, like angels they are singing. Such harmony is an immortal source. So such a music cannot be heard by mortal like us. It is for the immortal souls. Immortal souls are angels. Angels only can hear the songs of the heavenly bodies. So it is believed and it is proved that every heavenly bodies, every body, that means even a small um, part of the sky is in move and it produces sound, and such a music cannot be heard by us but with this the muddy vesture of decay. So we are made out of mud because we are made of earth. So our body is mortal. In this our soul is put in the mortal body. So as our soul is in the mortal body, we cannot hear it unless the soul reach there, unless we reach heaven, unless we reach that sky, there we can hear the sound which is produced by the heavenly bodies as a music or the song sung by the angels. Death grossly closes in, we cannot hear it, we cannot hear it, but anyhow we can understand that every heavenly body is producing the music and singing songs in praises of God who created everyone. So he is admiring the beauty of the sky and making Jessica also to understand and admire and enjoy the harmonious mood. But meantime, the musician enters there and he started singing. He is singing, "Come ho and wake Diana with the hymn." Let's sing a song and wake Diana. With sweetest touches pierce your mistress here and draw her home with music. So the musician started singing and he sings it with sweetest notes of music. We will welcome our mistress. Let it reach the ear of our mistress while she enters into her house. So it means we welcome Portia with the sweet music. So he started singing. The music is going on. And Jessica, I'm never merry when I hear sweet music. So while when the music was playing, Jessica immediately comment, and she comments that I never like the music. When the music plays, I hate. I don't want to listen the music. So Lorenzo started commenting on what the reason is your spirits are attending. Music is such a thing, you cannot hate it. If you're hating means you're listening the music completely, that music you should not. So for do but note a wild and wanton herd. So he is giving one example. For do but not a wild and wanton herd, or race of youthful and unhandled colts, fetching mad bounds, bellowing and neighing loud. See, if you play a music in front of a colt, that means young horse which are not trained, never trained in any of the area. If you play a music, it will be disturbed and started shouting and fetching mad bounds, and it will be disturbed and neighing loud and out of control. But which the heart condition of their blood. This is the wildness of the animal. So while playing the music to any animal which is not trained will behave like that. If they but hear perhaps the trumpet sound, but trumpet sound is an animal or a horse or an elephant, anything which is taken to the battlefield and trained properly, while they play the trumpet sound, how they go on their place, how they be touch the ears, you shall perceive them make a mutual stand. Immediately they'll listen to the sound of the trumpet and obey and do what they have to do. Their savage eyes turn to a modest gaze. So if they are not trained, they'll become very wild. But a trained horse will behave so good, and their look also will change into modest gaze by the sweet power of music. So music can change wild to mild. So therefore the poet, so he is referring one poet also, Orpheus. So did claim that Orpheus drew trees. It is said in one of the literature that Orpheus could draw the trees, stones and floods. That means non-living thing of that natural things also be drawn by the music played by Orpheus. So since not so stock is hard and full of rain, but music for the time does change this nature. Nature also can be changed by the music. So he is telling that continuously. First he said that how it can change the wild to mild, and how it can change, bring change in the nature, and which cannot move also can move. Unmovable things like stone and trees also can move by the music. And he says that again, giving the solution for that. The man that hath no music in himself. So pointing Jessica, if a man does not have any interest in music, nor is not moved with concord of sweet sounds, if he is not moved with the music and is it fit for treason, he is a treacherous person, and he and spoils the motion of his spirit, and he is compared to the dull night. A person who does not have interest in music or moved by the music is like a dull person, or a person who is filled with darkened thought, full of evil, and his affections dark as Erebus. Erebus is a place which is the darkest, and it the place in hell. Hell is a place we compare to darkest place. So Erebus is the path to the hell, where it is the darkest part. So the person who does not have the interest in music is like a person who is filled with darkness. His sight is full of dark. And let no such man be trusted. Such a man will not be trusted. He is not fit for trusting, and he is wicked. And note the music. So warning her, see, if you are not having interest in music, something is wrong in you. That's what he wanted to say, and he is telling that listen the music now. So there we stop, and the next part of the last scene we see in the next class. So in the beginning, how Jessica and Lorenzo having a talk, a nice talk in the moon night at the in the garden of Portia, when they are waiting for Portia's coming there.